What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K22 Next Gen. Today, we are doing the Domantas Sabonis Sacramento Kings rebuild. It has been a very long time since I did the other half of this rebuild, which was the Tyrese Haliburton Indiana Pacers rebuild. It's about a month ago. It has been a very long month, and I've explained it in my last video where I've been. Last week, I was on spring break. I didn't schedule any videos to get uploaded, but hopefully we're back to a couple videos a week. Of course, my schedule at school is a little more different than it is when I'm at home. So, hope you guys do understand that. And again, I do apologize for this video being so late. So I've given my thoughts on this trade. It was a completely asinine trade for me. You know, for the Sacramento Kings, I don't really understand the appeal of trading probably one of the 1 or 2 draft picks you've hit on since DeMarcus Cousins. That's just me, though. I think that trade's still a fat L for the Sacramento Kings. I think it's a huge W for the Pacers. We're probably going to be moving Sabonis, whether they were to go into the Kings or not. So those are still my thoughts. Obviously, neither of these teams are playoff teams. They're definitely not any sort of contenders or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do end up doing this offseason, kind of the future of their rosters. And of course, I do want to hear from you guys. Let me know any other videos you guys want to see down below in the comment section. I'm kind of finishing up it sounds weird to say, the trade deadline rebuilds, which is weird because trade deadline was like a month ago at this point. But again, I want to hear from you guys. You guys got any other rebuilds or challenges, anything like that? Feel free to leave those down below in the comments. Without further ado, man, Domantas Sabonis is on the Kings. Let's get into it. So, of course, the one unfortunate thing, actually, there's more than one unfortunate thing about 2K22 on the next gen, but the biggest thing for me is that we don't have a start today, so I kind of have to re-sim the whole season. And, of course, we are past the trade deadline in real life, so it really wouldn't make much sense, if you will, for me to go ahead and make any trades this first season. So, hope you guys do understand that. What I will do, though, is I'll go over the roster and I'll set the rotation, kind of maybe go over my plans a little bit with this team and with the 2 off seasons we are going to have. So, we will start out quickly. I'm a huge De'Aaron Fox fan. I do not have any plans on trading him. I would have kept him and Haliburton in my backcourt very happily. Of course, we do not have that luxury anymore. Thank you, Sacramento. Davion Mitchell, I'm still big on as well. I don't know if he's ever going to start for me in this video, but again, he's going to be a really good bench piece if not. Furthermore, shooting guard spot, Terrence Davis, Donte DiVincenzo came over in the trade with the Bucks and Justin Holiday. None of these guys are long-term answers at that starting shooting guard spot, so we'll address that that position this offseason. The small forward spot, Harrison Barnes, I know his name came up at the trade deadline a little bit. They didn't end up moving him at all. It's Harrison Barnes. He's not a long-term answer. He's a very solid player. He's not going to be my guy for the remainder of this video, so he'll be gone after this year. Jeremy Lamb and Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson has, low-key, I feel like he's revitalized his career maybe a little bit. I don't know. What was he, like the 4th overall pick? Yeah, 4th overall pick. 2017 for the Phoenix Suns. That one never panned out. Power forward is up in the air. Trey Lyles, Chemsy Metu, and Mo Harkless are not all long-term answers at all. And then Sabonis, Rashawn Holmes, Alex Len, Damian Jones, and Neemias Quetta. I'm going to probably roll with Sabonis for the majority of the video at one of the spots in the front court. I haven't decided where, I'd really rather have him. Again, it probably depends on what the rest of the roster is looking like. But that being said, I know he's been playing some center for, I believe, probably the Kings. And maybe he played a little bit with Miles Turner not in the rotation in Indiana, but I'm honestly probably going to run him at power forward, at least for this season. I'm sure he is playing center for the Kings in real life. I'm not arguing with you there, but I feel like I'd rather get Holmes in the starting lineup as well. So I'm going to set this rotation. I'll be back before we do start simming your number 1 here in Sacramento. So by no means is it a good quality, even playoff contending team that we have here in Sacramento for your number 1, but I think we've made the most out of the situation we had, and I think I've made the best decision so far. Again, that Sabonis spot at that power forward position is not locked up. He very well could be moved back to center. Again, it's just kind of where I'm going right now with the players I do have on the squad. So, your number 1, here's how it's going to look. De'Aaron Fox, Terrence Davis, Harrison Barnes, Domantas Sabonis, and Rashawn Holmes. It's honestly not the worst starting 5 I've had at the start of a video. It's by far not the best, but again, we got some assets. We got some pieces to potentially move this offseason. It is good enough for now. Our bench unit's a little iffy. We got Donte DiVincenzo. We got Davion Mitchell, who I'd like to develop as much as possible. He's been getting a significant amount of minutes behind De'Aaron Fox. We have Trey Lyles. We got Jeremy Lamb, and then Alex Len. So there's a 10-man rotation in here for year number 1 in Sacramento. I didn't feel as if 9-man rotation was necessary. We don't really have anybody that's too good in order to need to be, eating up those big minutes, if you will. So that is it for your number 1. I'm really hoping that we don't have some 2K BS and this team doesn't somehow end up in the playoffs, but I don't think we'll have to worry about that. I will catch you guys at the end of your number 1 here in Sacramento. First regular season here in Sacramento does come to an end, and Luka Doncic takes home the MVP award. Probably not the case in real life because we're kind of at a 3-headed monster right now between Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis. I'm not going to give my pick right here. I actually might do a video kind of closer to the awards, kind of after the regular season. Obviously, MVP is a regular season award. Kind of give my thoughts. If you guys want that, let me know down below in the comment section. We finish it up as an 11 seed, so we're technically 1 seed away from being in the play-in tourney, which I do not like, but we're in the lottery. That's all that's important. Cade Cunningham, your Rookie of the Year, still in the race in real life. Andre Drummond is 6th Man of the Year. Good Lord. Giannis Antetokounmpo, Defensive Player of the Year. 6th Man of the Year is locked up for Tyler Hero, in my opinion. Giannis, Defensive Player of the Year. Tyrese Maxey, Most Improved. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Yeah, the Pelicans are really good when they have a healthy Zion. Unfortunately, that just has not happened in real life so far this year. I believe he's not coming back. So, Pelicans are 64-18. They lead the Western Conference. We finished with a record of 34-48. It's not ideal. We're probably not going to have the best pick in the world, but again, we got some trades potentially in the works, so we will see. Player stats in the year: De'Aaron Fox balled out for us. I'm very happy. At least the Kings kept him. Domantas Sabonis was super solid as well. Double numbers for him. Terrence Davis, Harrison Barnes, Rashawn Holmes, DiVincenzo Lamb. Take a look at the rest of the guys down here on this list. Rebounds per game went to Sabonis, and assists was actually Sabonis as well. Good ball facilitator. All right, we'll sim the playoffs because obviously we are not in them. We can take a look at who takes home the championship in the 2022 year. And the Jazz and the Nets are in the finals. And the Brooklyn Nets, who are a play-in team right now, win the championship. Kevin Durant's your finals MVP. I'm not saying they're not going to be good in the playoffs. Hell, as a Celtics fan who have completely turned their seasons around, I do not want to face Kevin Durant in the Brooklyn Nets in the first round of the playoffs. That is 100% a fact. But not the topic at hand today. We'll hit league meetings really quick. Those are all rejected. We're good there. We will now sim the draft lottery. We are projected to have the 9th overall pick. Let's see if it's a little bit of 2K lucks on my side today. Let's see what we end up with here. We end up with the 9th pick. So no luck, but I can live with it. It's not the worst thing in the world. We'll head to staff. Whoops, excuse me. Wrong button. We'll head to staff signing right now. I'm not a huge Alvin Gentry fan, if I'm being honest with you. I just don't know what our budget is, but there's no way I'm keeping him as the head coach of this team. I do not think I have style for money. I'll offer stuff. I have style for money. Cool. Let's head up to the NBA draft. I hate the new coaching system. You all know that. We will head up to the draft, see what we got in the second round pick department. We do have the 7th overall pick, and then we do have the 9th overall pick in the first round. We got some assets that I'm more than willing to move. I think probably moving on from Harrison Barnes is an option. I'm a little iffy on Rashawn Holmes. Again, he's probably one of the better players on this team still. It's kind of weird to say, but he really is. And again, we got some options here. So, we're going to make a couple trades. See you guys with our first move of the offseason. So, we have the 9th overall pick. I'm going to see if Detroit wants to do a swap. Give me number 5. We have more options available for us at number 5. So, I'll offer them my second round pick this year. Alex Len and a future second round pick as well. That was a mouthful. Let's see. They agree to that. So, we now have the number 5 overall pick. I think that gives us more options of guys we could potentially draft. And there are a decent amount of options here for us at number 5. So I'm sticking at 5 no matter what. We will see who's available for us on the board. We'll take a look at the summary so far. Paolo Banchero, AJ Griffin, Shaedon Sharpe, and Chet Holmgren. So we got some options here. I think Jalen Durant's probably maybe the obvious pick. I don't think this game nearly gives Jabari Smith Jr. enough credit because I think he could be very, very good. And honestly, I might just take him, even though I know Jalen Durant is going to be a 79 overall, but I know Jabari Smith Jr. is probably a top 3 prospect, if not top 2. So I think Jabari Smith Jr. is my pick here. It makes sense for me, even though I know Jalen Durant's overall, and we're just going to move Sabonis back to center. So that's a home run for me. Jabari Smith's going to be starting for me at power forward. Then we will go ahead. Oh, he's a 79 overall as well. Doesn't even matter. So I'm going to go ahead and move Sabonis back to that center spot. He will start there. I actually had him there. I'm fucking dumb. Excuse me. Where is he? Domantas Sabonis, center, 88 overall. Cool. We can call that a day. So, we have not moved on from Harrison Barnes yet. We have not moved on from Rashawn Holmes yet. I definitely want to get an upgrade at the shooting guard spot. We have our front court figured out. We have our point guard figured out. Those are the only 2 things I'm 100% certain on. We'll bring back Trey Lyles. We'll bring back Chimsy Metu. I'll see you guys with the next trade. I'm going to try to make a big splash here and pick up DeJounte Murray from the San Antonio Spurs. I don't really know how a backcourt of him and De'Aaron Fox would work, but it's 2K. You can kind of do whatever you want. So typically the higher overalls, the more amount of wins you have, the better you do in the playoffs. It's pretty simple math. So that's my offer. I don't think they're going to... They accepted it. Okay. Cool. Welcome to the team, DeJounte Murray. You are going to be starting at shooting guard for us. Where are you? You are right here. He goes down to an 86. What does Fox do? 81. Holy shit. Okay. Well, that kind of hurts the overall department. This is not the olden days of 2K where you move a guy up to shooting guard, everybody's overall goes up. But honestly, yes, he's a point guard. That's 100% a fact. I'm going to play him at shooting guard. If it doesn't end up working out for some reason, I will adjust accordingly next offseason. But he's locked up. We don't have to worry about it. I do want to get rid of Harrison Barnes, but I really don't know how much of a better option I'm really going to have, if you kind of get what I'm saying. I also do kind of want to keep Davion Mitchell on this bench. So, again, I don't really know how big of an upgrade. I also didn't give him my first-round pick next year. Maybe I should, low-key. Should I be confident enough to give up this first-round pick? Because it's probably pretty decently valuable. If I can get a serious upgrade at the small forward spot, I would be willing to do it. Michael Porter Jr. I feel like he always takes that huge leap in the second year, though. Would I be willing to do that? It's such a risk, though, if I don't do it. The walking lesbian. All right, I'm going to pull the trigger on it. It's an unprotected pick. Is there any way I can maybe make it like top 10? Oh, it has to be unprotected. Oh, man. All right, it's a huge risk if we end up sucking next year, but I think we've gotten to the point where we're not going to suck. We also pick up Zeke Naji. So, yeah, we're definitely risking it a little bit this upcoming season. I'm probably going to go ahead and trade Chimsy Metu now and get a backup at some sort of position. Again, I am a little bit nervous on this backcourt of Murray and Fox, but, again, they're both really solid players and both really young as well. So, hopefully they can adapt somehow. So, Chimsy Metu is going to get me, hopefully, a backup at some position. I will sign the rest of them. Wouldn't mind getting a couple veterans on this pretty young team, if you will. So, let's see my options. Who are you? Oh, you're a first-round pick this year. You're not really the veteran I was looking for. I guess I could just maybe sign veterans. Duron Sharp. I do not need a power forward. What position was this dude? He's a small forward. Marjan Beauchamp. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know who he is. But sure, welcome. You'll be Michael Porter Jr.'s backup. So, we're still going to go 10-man rotation, so I need a backup shooting guard and a backup center. We can pretty much call it an offseason. I also give the qualifying offer to Donte DiVincenzo, so I'm going to focus a little more on the center first. Maybe like Mason Plumlee on a 2-year, $6 million deal per season. So DiVincenzo hopefully should be coming back. I wouldn't mind bringing him back. Hopefully he doesn't get a huge offer, but again, we gave him the qualifying offer, so he is restricted. How much does he want? He wants like $14 million a year, 13 and a half. That's a lot, but I'd be willing to give it to him. And again, we can always address trading him in the offseason. He's a solid bench piece. All right, that's the team we're working with going forward. Again, we've made some moves that are a little bit risky. I'm hoping they're going to pan out. If not, again, we'll address it the next offseason. But we don't have our first-round pick for the next 2 years now, which is kind of something that makes me a little bit nervous. Again, we're gambling a little bit. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2 of the rotation. So we've made a lot of moves with this team. I'm hoping they're for the better. Again, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I still am a little bit nervous about how this backcourt will mesh because both of these guys are pretty much pure point guards in my opinion. Just my opinion anyways. But I'm hoping 2K can adapt and kind of make it work. It's a pretty good looking team though, and it's a lot better looking than we had last year. We added Michael Porter Jr. He's going to be my new starting small forward. We drafted Jabari Smith Jr. 5th overall, and then we moved Domantas Sabonis back to the center position. It's an overall really solid starting 5. Our bench unit's also getting a little bit better. Donte DiVincenzo, Davion Mitchell, both respectfully, progressing in their overall department. A lot of big words today. Zeke Naji, Mason Plumlee, and then Marjan Beauchamp, who I'm not even going to lie to you, I have no idea who this is, but hopefully he's solid enough to play 10 minutes a night and back up MPJ. Is this a playoff team? I'm hoping so. Again, I know nothing's 100%. I will see you guys at the end of year number 2. So it was definitely a successful second season. We finished as a 2 seed here in the Western Conference, a lot higher than I honestly thought we were going to be. But I don't complain when 2K gives me these small, subtle blessings. So, Luka Doncic's second year in a row MVP award, 38 points a game is just absolutely insane. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year, ends up in Portland. Isaiah Jackson, 6th Man of the Year. Matisse Thybulle, Defensive Player of the Year. I know defensive stats obviously are not measured here in 2K, but just riveting numbers from Matisse Thybulle. Cam Thomas, Most Improved. Willie Green, second year in a row. Oh, God. The dreaded Pelicans, who I do not want to face. We can take a look at the standings. We finished the record of 55-27, so we run game back from the Pelicans, the hype beast Pelicans, if you will. Brooklyn Nets tied with us as the second best record in the league. All right, player stats. De'Aaron Fox, Jabari Smith Jr. Low-key, really solid rookie campaign. Sabonis, Delonte Murray, MPJ, DiVincenzo, this Marjan Beauchamp dude. I got to look this dude up. Look at some highlights or something. My goodness, 10 minutes a night and 7 points. Not bad at all. All right, whoops, I'm going the wrong way. Let's sim the play-in, see who we got here in the first round. It's going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are on a hot streak themselves. D'Angelo Russell, Jalen Noel, Anthony Edwards, Jared Vanderbilt, Karl Anthony Towns, who is probably the All-NBA third-team center. If I had to take a guess, that's my prediction anyways. We're 1-1 with them right now. We actually go down 2-1. We're 2-2, so we got a best-of-3 series right now. We go up 3-2, and can we advance to take on the Portland Trailblazers? Can we advance to take on the Portland Trailblazers? We can. So, we got to battle a couple of the best rookies, if you will. Paolo Banchero versus Jabari Smith Jr. They still got Dame. They signed Zach LaVine, so they replaced CJ McCollum with Zach LaVine. They got Nasir Little, Banchero, as I mentioned. Yusuf Nurkic, Josh Hart, Justice Winslow. Intriguing second-round matchup. 2 teams that are probably going to be lottery picks this year in real life are battling it out in the next year's playoff. We're up 3-2 against them right now. We're going to a Game 7 for the second straight series, and now here come the big bad Pelicans. CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herbert Jones, Zion Williams. This is an interesting lineup. Like, minus Zion, is this like the lineup they're kind of running right now in real life? I don't know. Let's go game by game with them. We win game 1. They win game 2. We're down at 2-1. We're down 3-1, and they go on to win 4 straight. It's the Zion effect, man. Kevin Durant's still doing his thing. He owns Zion. But, again, it's the Zion effect here in 2K. They make a dude so good. I get he's been an all-star before. But the fact of the matter is he can't stay healthy, and they have him at like a 94, 95 overall. Little insane to me, but again, just my opinion. So we'll reject all league meetings. We'll hit the draft lottery. Obviously, we traded our pick for the next 2 years. I don't think we have anything here anyways, but it wouldn't have been in the lottery anyways. But it's going to be the Jazz, the 76ers. Wow, two of the top teams, and honestly, in all the NBA. One of the best teams in the West, one of the best teams in the East are now in the lottery, which is interesting. I'm not firing Mike Stauffer. He's pretty much the best head coach you can get in the game rating-wise. We will head up to the NBA draft right now. We do not have any picks, I don't think. No, we do not. We weren't going to draft anybody anyways. We'll hit team player options real quick. Zeke Naji definitely coming back. Same with Davion Mitchell. Glad I clicked on that. Qualifying, we have none. And again, I don't really think we have any major free agents heading into this offseason. At least I don't believe so. I actually believe the whole team should be hypothetically locked up. Yeah, it is. The whole team's locked up. So if I'm going to make a move, it's not probably going to be with any of the starters. I honestly think this backcourt kind of meshed pretty well. They're both good at different things. DeJounte Murray's kind of a do-it-all point guard, if you will. De'Aaron Fox kind of more providing the scoring and some assists as well, if you will. But I don't really see a reason to really change much in this backcourt. I don't really see a reason to change much on this bench as well. So, I keep calling him Mark Beauchamp. Marjon Beauchamp actually played pretty well as our backup small forward. So I think he's fine. Zeke Naji's fine. So Mason Plumlee might honestly be the only upgrade that I do get. And that feels weird to say, but I'm honestly pretty confident with this team. And any trade that I make, I feel like would kind of be a lateral move, if you will. So what I might try to do right now is actually I'll sign a random free agent. Who's the highest overall that I can sign? It looks like it's Will Barton. I will sign Will Barton. And then I will go ahead and I will match Will Barton with Plumlee, and we are hopefully going to go ahead and get a significant upgrade at the backup center position. Maybe just a little bit maybe like a center who likes to bang on the boards a little bit more, maybe play a little bit better defense than Domantas Sabonis, if you will. So what we'll do right now, Will Barton, Mason Plumlee, and a first-round pick. We'll just do this one in 2026. I'm just looking for an upgrade at the backup center spot, specifically somebody that can maybe play a little bit of defense. I don't know if I'm going to get offered one. Do I just bring Rashawn Holmes back? Honestly, not the worst idea in the world. He is 29 years old, but we'll just do it. Rashawn Holmes, welcome back to Sacramento. Backup center role. He took a year off from Sacramento, and he's welcome back to this wonderful spot of illustrious, historic, proud basketball history. We're leaving the team basically the same. I'll see you guys at the start of year number 2. Or excuse me, the third and final year. All right, third and final year for us here in Sacramento. We didn't really make any major changes from last year going into this year. We obviously have some development because this is still a pretty young team at the end of the day. But I'm happy with the output no matter what. I think we put together a pretty good and pretty young, fun squad. So we made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals last year before we ran into 95 overall, 300-pound Zion Williamson. And, of course, you know how that goes pretty much every time. But De'Aaron Fox, DeJounte Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Jabari Smith Jr., and Domantas Sabonis is going to be the same starting 5 as last year. Bench unit, Davion Mitchell, Dante DiVincenzo, Zeke Naji, Rashawn Holmes is basically the one change we have. And our boy Marjon Beauchamp, who is slowly becoming a fan favorite of mine, if you will. But that's the squad, pretty much the same thing as last year, year number 3, final year. Let's hopefully go get a championship. Third and final season in Sacramento does come to an end, unfortunately. But fortunately, we're a 1 seed here in the Western Conference. And wouldn't you look at that? Jason Tatum, first career MVP. He's a dark horse this year for me to win MVP. Of course, it's not going to happen with Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis all playing at the levels that they are. But Jason Tatum has slowly emerged himself as a top 10 player in the NBA. I don't know if y'all are ready for that conversation, though. We're not getting into it, though. Victor Wembanyama, Rookie of the Year, is in Utah. I don't know if he replaced Rudy Gobert. They're running both of them together. Not my place. James Wiseman, 6th man. Hopefully he can get healthy soon, dude. I heard he had a setback, or I saw on Twitter. That sucks. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player of the Year. Congrats, you stayed healthy. Nikola Jovic, which I think is hilarious. I don't know. Mike Stauffer, we go 16-22. He takes home Coach of the Year. Hopefully we don't have to run into the Pelicans this year because, again, they're basically my kryptonite, and they are in the play-in. So 41-41, I'm hoping you don't even sniff the playoffs. All right, player stats. De'Aaron Fox, Jabari Smith Jr., MPJ, DeJounte Murray, Sabonis. Again, it's kind of a weird team, especially with our backcourt of, I'm not saying they're similar type players, but like they both do a lot of different things well. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird for me to have them in the same backcourt, but hell, hopefully it works out. So a battle of 2 pretty good backcourts here. They got Damon Levine still, Gary Trent Jr., Banchero, Nurkic. They got Dinwiddie off the bench now. We did beat Portland last year. Looks like they made a few upgrades along with some developmental things. I'm hoping we can get by them again this year. We're up 3-1 right now. And we went in 5. Moving on to Minnesota, who we also played last year and also beat. I'm, again, hoping for a similar result. The same thing as the Portland series. We're 1-1 with them right now. We go up 2-1. We go up 3-1 quickly. On to the West Finals. And how does this happen? I mean, for the love of God. 94 overall Zion. 284 is a generous weight. Good God. Oh, good God. All right, let's go game by game. We're up 2-0 against them. We're up 3-0. If I blow this, I swear to God. Okay, cool. Thanks for coming. 76ers, the Brooklyn Nets will not repeat, or will not three-peat, I guess. James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. Yeah. Oh, God. The 76ers are not a team that I want my Celtics to face in the playoffs this year. Luckily, we're a few years down the line. Maybe age has hit Harden a little bit, along with some donuts. It unfortunately doesn't really look like it. We're down 3-2. Again, I'm only hopping in if it's a close enough game. If we're getting blown out, I'm not even going to hop. It's not even worth it for me. And kind of looks like that's what's happening right now. It looks like we're battling back a little bit, but is it going to be too little, too late? It looks like it is, unfortunately. Yeah, that sucks. 76ers go on to beat us 6 games in the finals. 34-year-old James Harden, the beard, finally gets a championship after going from team to team to team like he goes stripper to stripper to stripper. Congratulations. All right, we do not get a championship in today's video, but overall-wise, getting the most probably irrelevant team in the NBA, the Sacramento Kings, back to the NBA Finals is something that's always pretty cool. You know, that Lakers series, what was it, 2004? Something like that. Obviously, it was a little bit interesting with the referees and gambling and everything like that. But nonetheless, we brought some pretty good basketball back to Sacramento. Of course, if you guys do have any other video ideas, I want to hear them down below in the comments section. You guys are new around here, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Other than that, that wraps this one up. Again, one more time, thank you guys for all the support. That, you know, it's been a rough month and a half for me, to say the least, and I hope you guys know why. I've explained it a couple times in the video before this. But if you guys got any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM on Twitter. I'd be happy to talk to you guys. And that wraps up this one. Of course, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. See you guys all in the next one.